Hello Year 2 students, my name's Ella and we're at lesson 42. What will we need today? We will need a learning book and a calculator. Okay, let's get cracking to our number talk today. I think you can see it behind me. It is some more subitizing. Subitizing is recognizing groups of numbers very quickly without counting them individually. Without counting 1, 2, 3, I can see 3. So let's have a look at this glorious pattern we've got here and how we may quickly recognize what that number is and some different ways to do that. So I think we will be able to discover 4 different ways of seeing this number. So I wonder if you have an amount that you have calculated here very quickly. How many dots do we see? I think I have the number 2, but let's have a look at different ways of doing that. So the first way I can see is a 3, a 3, a 3, and a 2. 3, oh, here comes my skip counting. 3, 6, 9, and 2. 9 and 2 make 11. 3, 3, 3, and 2, 11. Okay, that might have been the way that you subitized. Let's have a look at a different way. This time I'm going to look at this lovely pattern here and I can recognize that's 5. Okay, I can see 5 in here, I can see a 2 and I can see a 4. So let's try again, a 5, a 2 and a 4. And we are going to have the same amount, it's 11. Maybe that was the way you subitized these dots. Let's try again. I can see a 6, I can see a 3, and I can see a 2. So we have a 6, a 3, and a 2, and once again the amount is 11. No surprise there. Right, let's have a look at the last one. I might do something a little bit tricky and try and find 2 groups within here. What are these 2 groups? This one's very easily recognized as a 3 and 3 makes 6. And now I have a 3 and a 2. 3 and 2 will give me a 5. So 5 and 6 will make 11. And that, my friends, are 4 different ways you can subitize these dots. What did I hear? A very tricky person just thought about this. What about the missing ones? What about if I thought about what's missing and made it an array? So if I thought about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along here and 3 along here, 5 and 3, or 5, 5 and 5, tricky, is 15, plus I had 4 missing, and that will also give me 11. What powerful mathematicians, and some great warm-up ready for our lesson today. Let's have a think about our recap, what we did last lesson, and we did some beautiful rhythm counting with 2s, 5s and 10s, and we did it from any number and we did it forwards and backwards. So some of us wrote down what we did in our learning books. So you can see a pattern here starting at 6. What's happening here? That's right, we're skip counting by 2s. These are all our beautiful even numbers. And we're going forwards from 6 to 30. You can see here, I started at 50. And these numbers are getting smaller, so I'm counting backwards. And I'm counting by 5s. Nice work, I made it all the way to 0. And my last set of numbers that I was practicing, I started at 130. These numbers are getting larger, so I'm counting forwards. And I got all the way to 210, counting by 10s. I wonder if that's what your learning book looks like when we skip counted by 2s, 5s and 10s. All right, onward and upward. What are we doing today? Well, today's learning intention is to use patterns to develop fluency in skip counting by 2s, 5s and 10s, starting at any number. And to be fluent means to count correctly without pausing. So we practice to get better at that. And we'll know we can do this when we can count fluently in 2s, 5s and 10s from any number. So let's have a quick look at our number chart. And we've got an activity here for both of us to do together. Now you may not have a hundreds chart at home, but that's okay. We're going to do this together and you can see the pattern as well. So our first task, skip counting forwards and backwards, is to start with 6. So I'm going to place a counter on 6 and finish at 32, counting by 2s. So let's do this together. A nice count. Remember, we're trying to be fluent without pausing. So here we go. 6 and 8 and 10. 12 and 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30 and 32. There's our first skip counting. Fluent without pausing. Let's go again. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Fluent skip counting by 2s. Okay. Tick the first activity. Let's have a look at the next one. Start with 15, finish with 65 and count by 5s. Okay, here we go again. Let's use our hundreds charts to help. Start with 15 and finish with 65. So here we go. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. That was very fluent. We didn't pause and we were able to count by 5s. Okay, let's go again. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. That's counting forwards. I wonder if you can do that backwards. It's a little task for you later maybe. And start with 170, finish with 300, count by 10s. Now this number chart only goes to 100. So we're going to have to think about where 170 is. So let's write this one down. Counting by 10s, starting at 170. 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250. I've got to get to 300. 260, 270, 280, 290 and 300. Okay, now we haven't done a lot of practicing counting backwards, so let's give this one a go with our 10s. Here we go, backwards now. The numbers are getting smaller. 300, 290, 280, 270, 260. 250, 240, 230, 220, 210, 200, 190, 180 and 170. So today we practiced to develop our fluency in skip counting 2s, 5s and 10s. Now remember, to be fluent is to count accurately with no pause. So I had that lovely rhythm about those patterns in 2s, 5s and 10s. And last lesson we found out that our calculator is a wonderful maths friend, isn't it? Because we can skip count on here. And let me show you again how that works. because our doing task today is to have a look at writing down some of those patterns. And if we are very fluent at 2s, 5s and 10s now, we can go to 3s, maybe 6s, something crazy like 7s. But let's just have a look at getting very quick at 2s, 5s and 10s. Now last time I showed you on the calculator skip counting by 3s, so let's have a look at 4s today. And remember, we press 4, add 4, and then we press the equals button. Now, can you remember? All I need to do next is keep pushing the equal button and it will continue to add 4 for me. So, what did I have? I had a 4, an 8, a 12, a 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36 and 40. So there's a lovely pattern within those 4s as well. And as I push the button, I could write my 4s down. Okay, so let's write some of those number patterns into our learning book. I can see my 4s now. I might write my 2s, 5s and 10s, and I might choose some others. Just where I am in my maths fluency at the moment. Can I skip count with that fluency accurately? All right, and it's about practice too. All right, so pop those in your learning book so you can see some of your beautiful learning, and I will see you next lesson. Bye.